With 2 out of 3 Americans disapproving of the way President Bush is handling the situation in Iraq, according to a recent poll, I wanted to find out what conservatives in Santa Clarita and the public at large were thinking about the unpopular 4-year-old war. Kevin Kornthal, a Santa Clarita resident, works with the local Republican Party and owns a popular conservative blog named SoCalPundit.com. Kornthal has used his blog in the past to encourage his readers to support President Bush and American troops in the ongoing conflict that some call an unwinnable civil war. Kornthal organized a small Support the Troops rally on Saturday at the corner of McBean and Valencia, and I went over to have a word with a few of the rally participants. Kornthal isn't shy about blogging and broadcasting his opinion. Standing at the crossroads of central Santa Clarita, he shouted at drivers with a bullhorn saying, "God bless America, God bless the troops, and honk your horn if you support the troops." It was nearly impossible to talk to the rally supporters as the blast of car horns was so deafening.
God bless America! God bless our troops! Honk your horn if you support the troops!
So I'm here with Kevin Kornthal, who organized today's rally. Kevin, why'd you do it today?
Well, this is something that I hope to do every year. I think it's important to counter the anti-war protests with a little bit of support for our men and women as they're overseas. Obviously, I have a bias towards not leaving Iraq before the war is done. I truly believe that the Democrats are using the call to remove troops from Iraq as a means with which to gain political favor with the left wing of America. I don't think they are acknowledging the destructive aftermath that will be left in Iraq after we leave, and how that destructive aftermath will be spread across the Middle East, probably into Europe, and then here into America. So we need to counter all of that.
Okay. And what do you say? Sometimes there's anti-war protesters on the other side of the street, and I think they would say that they are supporting the troops by advocating them to be pulled out of an unwinnable war. What would you say to that?
Well, that is supporting a few people that are fighting the war in Iraq over the entire population of Iraq and the future communities of the world that would become weakened by terrorism if we were to pull out. Our men and women join the military free with their own choice. It's not like in the Vietnam or even the World War II era when they were inducted into the Army and served regardless of what they wanted. Everybody who's over there chose to be in the military and are serving at the pleasure of themselves and to help this country.
I also spoke with Dick Jeffrey, a Santa Clarita resident and Vietnam veteran, about his views on the war in Iraq. Jeffrey had some strong and passionate views about the war. Your name is... I'm sorry?
My name is Dick Jeffrey.
Dick Jeffrey. Do you live here in Santa Clarita?
Yes, I do.
And you're once a Marine, always a Marine?
Darn right. Hoorah. Semper Fi.
Where did you serve?
In Vietnam.
Okay. And why are you here today?
I'm here to support the United States Marine Corps and all the troops that are over there. I'm here to support my country. I feel that once you're in a war, there's no backing down from it. There's no taking the soft and easy side. War is war. Sit and fight it to win it, and that's all there is to it. Well, stop being PC, get out and do it.
What would you say to the people who believe we're in a civil war and that it's not winnable?
Okay, all wars are winnable. All civil wars of the past were won one way or the other. All regular wars were won one way or the other. It's who's got the most confidence, who's got the most stay power. We're the strongest country in the world. We will win that battle over there. But what you got to stop doing, and where we kind of maybe went wrong, was if you're going to fight a war, fight it as a war. Don't be PC about the whole thing. If you're going to send Marines to die and fight in Fallujah, keep Fallujah. Then go to Ramadi. Keep Ramadi. Don't give it back to them.
Do you think
when you find enemies like what's his name, Sauter, take them out. Let's fight this as a war and stop lollygagging around. Kumbaya is not going to win the war.
Do you think we're making the same mistakes we made in Vietnam when we would take...
Here's the mistake we made in Vietnam, because I'm a Vietnam vet and I got hot over that stuff. When we fought in Vietnam, we won every major battle. Every major battle. But the political climate back here, just as Ho Chi Minh's people said, we will lose in the battlefields of Vietnam. but we'll win on the streets of San Francisco and the streets of America because of the people who had no courage that they wanted to end the war. I don't want to have happen to those brave kids that are over there fighting now to keep the battle over there amongst Al-Qaeda and the rest of the Islamic fascists, to keep the war over there. I don't want them to do the same thing they do with us. So all the men that fought with me and died with me and were wounded then had to come back and watch us pull the plug on the financing and watch the war go to hell. That's not right.
Next, I spoke with Jennifer, a substitute teacher and Santa Clarita resident, who recalled her students' reaction on 9/11 and said that the war in Iraq was about a larger cultural clash between the Islamic East and the democratic West. Jennifer, while passionate in her views, admitted that she had mixed emotions about whether the U.S. should have invaded Iraq.
What's your name?
Jennifer.
Jennifer, are you from Santa Clarita?
Yes, I am.
Okay, how many of these rallies have you come to?
This is my first.
Oh, great. And do you have any relatives or anybody serving?
My father served in Korea. My grandfather served in World War I.
Okay, so why are you out here today?
I am out here because I saw the Twin Towers come down. I am a teacher. I had second graders climbing up my leg saying, Miss Rankin, are terrorists going to come blow up our school? I do not want to go through that again. I do not want young girls in this country to have to wear an abaya as a mandatory fashion statement like they do in the Middle East.
I'm sorry, a what?
An abaya.
Is that like a covering of some sort?
Yes, it's the traditional Muslim covering for women. They wear it from head to toe in black. If a woman does not wear it, if she disgraces her family, even if she is raped, she is murdered. I do not want to see that happen in this country.
Okay. And what do you say to the people who protest the war in Iraq specifically? Do you think that they're defending against that happening here? The troops, I mean?
I don't think that they understand the lengths that these people will go to take over the world. This is another jihad to these people.
In Iraq, you mean?
In Iraq, Afghanistan. See, what happened is I read this in U.S. News and World Report and about 5 years ago, is that the only people that were teaching these children were the Muslim clerics, and the only thing that they taught them was their twisted view of the Quran. I read this.
You're talking about the madrasas, maybe?
Yes.
The schools? Okay.
Yes. Girls were not allowed to go to school until our guys went into Afghanistan.
Yeah, the Taliban forbid
Yes.
the education of women.
Yes. I do not want to see that happen. And the women that are protesting this war, I still have mixed emotions about whether or not we should be there. However, we are there. And if we do not, it will be another Vietnam.
I've been to several anti-war protests and pro-troop rallies in Santa Clarita. Overall, I hear and see more support for the pro-troop rallies in this town. Anti-war protesters have told me that they have been cursed at and had things thrown at them while protesting in Santa Clarita. That didn't happen at Saturday's pro-troop rally, where honking horns from residents who presumably support President Bush and the war were in abundance. One thing is for sure. As the war drags on into its 5th year with no end in sight, SCV residents will continue to make their opinions heard on street corners, in the newspaper, and on blogs.